Welcome to Savor the Story, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole, that's Vanessa. My timing's all fucked up.
That's okay. You'll figure it out. It'll, whatever. I'm not worried about it.
I put an extra long pause in there because instead of comma, welcome to Savor the Story, comma, podcast, I went, welcome to Savor the Story, period. Don't say podcast.
I knew that's what you were thinking about.
Yep.
That's okay. Well, I have a new background.
You do. It's so beautiful.
I moved my room around this weekend and I got more bookshelves and now I have empty spaces. I don't really know what's going to actually show when I do the episode, but like there's one right here in the corner. There's one over here. Like I have some empty spaces now. So, I'm very excited about this.
That is fun.
It was very difficult to pick where things go.
Yes. When you have to choose like what is the most important today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this one is always going to stay here. This is my shadow hunters, so those will always stay there, but everything else will probably move around. You may see different books at different times, but I feel like those are always going to stay there because they belong there.
Yeah. I have stuff that I was like, I need to hang up. I'm going to switch my room around, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And I didn't. You were productive this weekend. I was not.
So because Tim went back to work full time, he was already working. Whoops. He was already working, but he went back into the office full time. And so I made the executive decision that since he no longer needed an office in this home, that I would move my work desk into his office. So now in the room that he was using as an office is now shared with his like personal computer and then my work computer, even though I don't really work all that often from home. And now this space is only for books and podcasting and some crafting, I guess, but all of my desks went into the other room. So if I do crafting, I will have to go into the other office. But really what I need is for him to just move out.
Just get a second house, Tim.
Just buy the house next door and you live there and then we'll hang out every day, but at least I have all my own stuff.
You guys can trade in your Jeep, get a van,
Okay.
and you can sleep in the van.
We have an RV.
Oh, that's true. See, you guys have options. Tim
That's
lives in
right.
the RV now.
He has mentioned that before. Anytime I complain about not having enough space for all of my things that I need space for, he's like, do you want me to just go move into the RV and you could just have everything? And I'm like, actually, that would be ideal.
That would be helpful. And then he never does it, does he?
No.
So he's just saying it for show.
Yeah, he just is saying it to think like, look, I'm cool. I'm so supportive. And then he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Timothy.
Well, yeah. So that is pretty much what I did all weekend.
Yeah.
I went to IKEA and bought new bookcases, and then I came home and I put them together and rearranged everything. So
Nice.
It was a full weekend endeavor for sure.
Mm-hmm. I made a minimum effort level list. It's like the minimum I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to set up my 3D printer because I need to 3D print something for the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
If I did everything on my list, it's only like a couple things more, but it was basically get my room moved around and something set up so I have like a permanent podcast station, because now it's just like one of those like little rolly desks, and that's why my background you're always like just shifted just a little bit different than last week. I got none of it done.
Okay. Did you get the 3D printer set up?
No, it's
okay.
The plug's still sitting on top the cable.
Okay.
So
did you do something fun instead?
No.
okay.
No, no. So, not to be sad story time, but
Okay.
Remy not woke up. He just started. So he's a dachshund, and people who have them, or it's pretty common that they have back issues.
Okay.
So he started acting like he was in pain.
Okay.
So we decided to take the weekend easy and just relax. So anyway, we just hung out because if we're out doing something, he wants to be out doing something.
Of course.
And he
really no
should
swimming, be. No running around chasing the geese, like all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was actually, to that point, that was actually one of the reasons we knew that something was wildly wrong, is because we saw the geese and we took him outside. We opened the door and let him out, and he just looked at him and then looked back up at us and was like, what do you want me to do about this?
Yeah, that's a sign then he didn't attack.
Yeah, we were like, oh, that's not great. So
no,
he had a vet appointment today, and they couldn't really see anything with the...
Did they take x-rays?
So they took x-rays, and she was like, there's some stuff I won't be able to see with x-rays, but anyway, long story short, in between a couple of his vertebrae, there's inflammation that they can see.
Okay.
So he's on painkillers again. He's on steroids. He's on some kind of medication for nerves.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But he's also on bed rest for 4 weeks.
Oh, he's going to be so sad because next weekend is 4th of July.
I know. And we were going to go out on the boat, and we were going to take him for a river raft because he loves being on the river. And
he's not allowed to do any of that.
I might try and take him on the boat as long as he might stay in the, he might stay in the, on the seat.
Okay.
But
no, running around, jumping in the water, all that kind of stuff.
No swimming.
Okay.
None of that stuff. So it's just going to be another relaxing weekend for the dog for the next 4 weekends.
That just means that you have a lot of time to just chill at home and read or just nap.
Right. Yeah. So I was told that I could telework the rest of the week. So
nice.
I get to stay home.
That's excellent.
Week. Yeah. So, not the best reason to stay home, but
I was just gonna say, you don't really want your dog to be sick for telework reasons, but also, if I'm gonna have a reason, if any reason can happen, I will take it.
Yeah.
Hopefully Remy doesn't drive you crazy with not being able to go and do things.
Yeah. I think with people and kids are the same way, right? When he's feeling bad, he's perfectly happy to stay wrapped up in his heat blanket and take a nap all day.
Right.
But when he...
But give it like a week or two of being on the medication and he starts feeling better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's going to be tough. So.
Yeah.
Yep. This is a poor little puppy.
Yep. That's the same thing that happened with Abby a few months ago when she had to get those staples when she got attacked. Where the first couple days it was super easy to keep her down and she was totally fine. And then that was all I got out of her. It was 2 days. And then after that, I could not stop her from moving quickly or doing anything. She was just like, fuck you, Mom.
She's like, I feel great.
Yeah. So, they're always like that. Ugh.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to hide the stand-up paddleboard because he loves that thing. If he sees it out, he'll go and put a paw on it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And usually I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go. I think I'm gonna have to hide it. So
yeah. Poor Remy.
But the sad thing is I don't know where I'm gonna hide it because he knows where we keep his life jacket. So he just runs up and puts his paw on the door and we're like, okay.
So poor Remy. Well, hopefully he's not too crazy for you, especially this weekend when you're out and about and stuff. I'm excited to hear how after next weekend, how it went. Well, are you ready to get into some discussion things?
Yes.
Okay, I have 2 things to talk to you about.
Okay.
One is a Mr. Chatty's Corner, and one is about a movie.
Yes.
Do you want to talk movie first?
Sure.
So you sent me the trailer for Project Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got our first trailer for it. It comes out March 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I saw that you sent it to me, I was like, dang it. Because I was going to make you watch it live if you hadn't watched it yet. I'm intrigued. It does seem like they're changing some things from the book. But I don't know if I'm upset about it yet or not. Like just from the trailer, I feel a little like apprehensive, but I'm excited to see it. How did you feel about the trailer?
It looks good. They gave the tiniest, littlest, itty-bittiest teaser for Rocky.
I know we got like the minusculest amount.
I know. It wasn't until the whole thing is going on, and I was like, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
Are they not going to show Rocky? And then at the very end, like the last 15 seconds, and you see just like...
You get a little like hand.
The ittiest bits of his fingers.
I was like,
ah.
Did you... The trailer that you watched, did you see him do the thumbs up? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, we got a little bit of like the thumbs up where like it's where what's his name's trying to like teach him how to do stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what they do, but I'm very disappointed in the amount that they showed us.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch it because I want to see Rocky.
For sure.
But I'm not sure I know I'm basing all of on like 2 seconds of like
I know
a video where they play like what I assume is his noise.
His talking.
And it's not what's in the book. And I hope that wasn't, I hope that was just sound effects and it wasn't Rocky's voice.
I know, because I know that sometimes they change things for the trailer, and like they don't show you exact things, or they'll use things in the trailer that's not necessarily in the movie or whatever. And so like, yeah, I'm hoping it would be great if they use the same kind of audio that they used in the audiobook for Rocky. And I'm also wondering, are they gonna have subtitles for Rocky?
Oh, I know. I don't know. I'm just so excited.
So yeah, I'm very interested to see how it goes and like what happens. So
yeah, but I will say the 1 second clip where they showed Rocky's ship, awesome. It looked
awesome. Insane.
Yes,
I was like, I don't picture anything in my head, but like I didn't even think that that's what it would look like, and as soon as it showed up I was like, is that Rocky's ship? Oh my god, I never even pictured it like that.
I thought they did a great job.
Okay,
I did not think of the same thing when I thought of his ship. I guess I was thinking of like a Star Destroyer from like Star Wars or something, like the big triangle ship. But
yes.
So I thought they did a great job. When I saw the ship, I was like, fuck yeah, that's pretty cool. So,
it looks very menacing. Like,
yes. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm very excited. I can't wait. March 20th. Yes.
This will probably be one of the few movies that I would be willing to go see in the theater.
Oh, I'm for sure going to see it in the theater. I'll be there opening day.
Wow.
Yes. I'm sure Tim will want to see it there too, like opening weekend.
Well,
too,
Tim really liked it, right?
He did, yeah.
I was going to say, I thought he gave it a 5, so.
He did, yeah. So he'll be very excited for it too. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, no. I think I'm going to have to see it without him because I don't know exactly, but there's one race that he does every March, and I'm pretty sure it's usually like the second to last or last weekend or like somewhere in there of March. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. If it comes out the same weekend, whoops, sorry, Tim.
Well, isn't that race in March just the backyard?
Yeah, it's the backyard.
He doesn't need you for that.
Right. No, he does not need me for that one. So it's okay. It won't be I won't be missed, but yeah. Anyway, enough race talk, but it came to my mind. I was like, damn it.
Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, sorry, Tim. All right. Now, are you ready for our Mr. Chatty's Corner today?
Yes, I hear it's going to be intense.
It is intense because Mr. Chatty's Corner I only put it inside of Mr. Chatty's Corner because it has to do with AI. And we've had this conversation before. We talked about just AI in general in the creative spaces, right? And yeah. I do want to point out again where my stance is, right? I don't think that AI should be used to create an entire thing that you then claim as your own work.
Correct.
I do think, though, that it's totally helpful to, like, help you get through a brainstorm or, like, help you, whatever, like, or the way that we use it, like, help us pick a book or something like that. Be my AI doctor, things like that.
Exactly. Help me put all my books in alphabetical order or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I will tell you, I do want to point out that I asked Mr. Chatty what his take on this was. Okay. And as AI,
he said, you better bow down, humans.
No. He is not a mean robot, okay? He said, AI is a tool, not a creator. And when it replaces, not supports human creativity, it becomes a problem. So he is on our side.
He has to say that.
So he does. He was probably programmed to say that. Okay, so our conversation today is going to be about generative AI versus assistive AI. Okay. Over the weekend, there was an author named Jessa Hastings. Mm-hmm. She is the author of the Magnolia Parks books. I've never read them, but apparently they are very big. She went a little crazy online. Have you seen all of the things that she posted?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to give you kind of an overview of what happened, and then I'll let you decide if you want me to read it verbatim or not. Okay. Okay. So apparently a few things happened. One thing was that somebody, I guess, got called out, like another author got called out for using AI, and she was coming to her defense. I couldn't find anywhere who this person was that she was defending, but apparently there was somebody that she was defending. Also recently, she posted like a really terrible AI generated photo of like characters from one of her books. And people kind of like went after her about that, like shit about that. And one thing that happened from that particular thing was that she threatened to delay the release of her next book and to kill off one of the main characters of the book as a response to people being upset about her photo.
Easy beats.
Wild response.
Yeah.
But then in the whole like defense of this other author, she called people being hypocritical about being upset about authors using AI to write books because those same people use autocorrect, face unlocking, Ring cameras, Instagram filters, Roombas, Alexa, TikTok For You page, Google Maps. So because all of these people use these things, they are now hypocritical because they don't like creative, generative AI.
So she's trying to equate AI to be a tool, as being a tool. Like you use a Roomba to vacuum instead of doing it yourself. Like,
right. Or that you use like that your Roomba has learned how to like vacuum certain parts of your house, or that like your For You page on TikTok has learned what you like, or that your Netflix account has learned what you like and will automatically recommend things. Like this is where the conversation comes in of what is AI or generative AI versus assistive AI. And they're so different. Right? Like a generative AI, you're making it tell you something and create something from just like a couple of thoughts or a couple of like prompts that you give it.
Mm-hmm.
Assistive AI is doing nothing. It's taking everything that you already have, right? Like Google Maps, it already has the map. You're just telling it where you want to go and it tells you how to get there. Like that's so stupid.
Like suggest an Italian restaurant that has lemon ices and they're like,
right.
I searched the entire internet and here's,
yes.
You know, yeah.
It's not the same thing at all of coming up. So it's the things that she was writing, it was so like I want to say passive aggressive, but probably not. It was really just aggressive. It was just like fuck you and your people and your thoughts and your like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, something must have triggered her to go from, I mean, I obviously didn't see any of this as the first time, but like, where in this point was she like, conversation off the deep end, I will kill every character. Like
so I think the character thing was even before this, like all this stuff happened. I think that was something separate and it was only related to people being upset about the picture that she posted. And I don't think people were upset that it was an AI generated photo. I think they were upset because it was a terrible fucking photo. Like it wasn't a very good AI generated photo. And so I think that's where people were upset. And then she got all bent out of shape about that. And then it was when she was defending whatever author that she was defending is when it like seriously went
crazy,
fucking wild. Mm-hmm. Yes. It was basically just like, here's a quote. Everyone who's giving that creator shit for using AI, you better be so fucking above reproach in your own self-righteous little lives. I mean, like, you better never have used autocorrect or predictive text, never have used face locking to turn off your phone. And this is where all of the Roombas, the Netflixes, the like everything came in. So, but that's how it started. You better be so fucking above reproach in your own self-righteous little lives. So yeah, so basically I feel like there's so much conversation going on out there with AI and like, and I agree with a lot of what people are saying, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't, and we talked about this before, if I wanted an AI fucking written book, I would buy, I would ask Mr. Chatty to give me a fucking book. Like I don't. And also, if you want to use AI to write your shit, totally fine, but tell people, right? Yeah. Before people give you their money and support you, tell them. Mm-hmm. Like, if you tell me that that's how you wrote it, there may still be a chance that I buy it. And I want to see what prompts did you come up with? Like, what did you decide? Like, how did you come about this, right? Like, so I might still be interested, but like, don't put something out saying like, this is my pride and joy, this is my baby, like I put so much work into this, when all you did was tell Mr. Chatty what to write.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna turn like what comes next, right? You know, what comes out of all of this? Does it turn into you have to give, you know how like people will say like, oh, I couldn't have done this without my editor. Like, do you have to
give them credit?
Like, you have to be like, this book was written with the help of generative AI or whatever, you know, like, and to your point, at that point, people can then choose if they want to continue to read it or if they want to be like, fuck it, I'll just ask Mr. Chatty for the same book.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I just think that there's the credit thing might be a thing that happens, right? I think there might be something that happens in the future where we have to like consider that, but I don't know. I just feel like right now it's just so like polarized. It's such a toxic polarizing environment with people just being completely on like either side. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just a little crazy out there. I think authors are scared not only because like they're afraid of people taking, or AI essentially taking jobs or whatever, but I think they're also afraid of being accused of like, they have to watch like literally everything they say and do because people are going to be like, you use AI. Right?
Them words are too fancy for you.
Right, exactly. You didn't come up with that sentence on your own.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I just,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Remains to be seen.
I think I'm solidly in my stance though of you can absolutely use it sparingly to help you in certain situations. But if you're now starting to use it for like pages or chapters or your whole book or whatever, it's no longer your thought creative property.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes, hear if any of our listeners have different thoughts or opinions about it. Do you hate us? Are we the problem?
Yeah. So it's funny you brought this up, and probably separately of this because I have not been paying attention to AI in the world of books. Apparently I need to start doing some more reading or perusing the internet because separately from this conversation that you were having with Mr. Chatty, my sister texted me this weekend and she was like, maybe cool it on the AI, Nicole. And I was like, okay. She's like, people are going crazy on the internet right now. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. And then I briefly mentioned it to you before we started recording. And you were like, hold your thoughts.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Well, I would like everyone to know I don't even know how we would, but we do not use AI in this podcast production other than he helps me pick books.
Yes.
He helps me when I have technical issues with podcast uploading and or recording like audios. He's helped me with stuff like that before. In no way, he doesn't write us a script. He
would be way more coherent.
My cat's about to make an appearance. Oh, shit.
What did you do? You're still here.
What happened?
You're still here.
Okay.
We are having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Mr. Chatty! She made it like full screen. But yes, I'm gonna leave that.
You yeeting your cat?
No. Yeet. Yes, you were right. We would be more cohesive. No, what did you say? Coherent.
See, Vanessa would have used the correct word there.
I would have. Yeah, we don't. He assists us.
Yeah, so don't come at us.
Please don't come at us. All right. I was gonna say tell me about your books, but don't tell me about your snack first.
Oh, okay. So Mike left me for the cabin already. So
bitch.
I know when that happens, I do a lot of door dashing. And every time I DoorDash, I also get dessert.
Okay.
And I was going to talk about that, but I just actually had my brain segued to something else. I had pickle pizza, and it was awesome.
What is pickle pizza? Is that just pickle toppings?
So it's a pizza, and they put, instead of the tomato stuff, they put like a garlic parmesan spread, and then they put cheese, and then they put dill pickle slices on it, and they bake it, and the pickles get all charred, and it's fucking awesome. And you can dip it in ranch, or you can dip it in more garlic sauce. Yes.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I'm also disgusted. I don't know where I don't know how to feel.
I don't consider myself to be like a major pickle fan.
Okay.
But when I saw this pizza, I was like, oh, bye. Definitely 100%. I love garlic. And pickles are okay. I was hoping for more garlic, but the pizza was delicious.
All right. I want to try next time I come to your house. I would like to try it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Pickle pizza. That is my snack.
Pickle pizza. What a weird. I mean, like I said, it sounds intriguing. Like I'm interested, but
So I've had like cheeseburger pizza before where they put pickle relish on it, and that was good. I've liked that.
Okay.
But this is just straight up pickles and garlic and cheese, and you can get garlic parmesan crust. Oh my.
just garlic overload. Okay, that is a great snack for you this week. My snack is milk chocolate potato chips.
Ah, sweet. Those are delicious.
Which also is weird.
Yes.
But yeah, it's I don't know if anyone cares. It's Esther Price is the brand. And I randomly saw them walking through Kroger and I was like, I feel like I should try those. And Tim was like, that sounds gross. And then I was like, I feel like it's going to be good. And it literally just tastes like salted chocolate, really.
Yeah.
And he liked it. So,
bitch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love chocolate covered potato chips.
It was delightful.
But you have to get the chocolate to potato chip ratio just right. Or like you said, it just tastes like chocolate with salt in it.
I definitely think I would like to try a different brand because this one, some of them had way too much chocolate, and it was like a little tiny sliver of a chip in the middle. So I think I need to try a different brand. If anyone has any suggestions for brands that have chocolate potato chips, I will accept them and I will try them.
Yes, because it's kind of similar to like chocolate covered pretzels. Like, to me, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I feel, that's, now that you say it like that, I feel like, why did Tim scoff
Yes.
at my potato chips?
What do you think you are, Tim?
That's right. He's not allowed to eat my snacks anymore. All right, now you can tell me about your book.
I like that you said book.
Well, only because I knew this week that it was just one.
All right, so I've been trying to decide because I had a couple that I could choose from, and I was like, which one should I talk about first? And I think I've made up my mind based on our previous discussion, and you'll find out why in a minute.
All right.
So the book that I'm going to talk about is called We Are Legion, and in parentheses, We Are Bob. It is.
Okay.
This book is by Dennis E. Taylor. I listened to this book. It is a sci-fi.
Okay.
And the narrator is Ray Porter.
Okay.
And do you know what else Ray Porter narrates?
The name sounds familiar. Like, I know I've seen it before, but I don't know what book it is. Is it Project Hail Mary?
Yes.
Yeah. Only because you said that it made sense for something we talked about. Okay.
Yes. So he also narrated Project Hail Mary. I didn't put two and two together when I started this book, but as I was listening to it, I was like, huh.
Oh, so you didn't pick it because of him?
No.
Okay.
I was just like, why does this man sound really familiar? And I went, now, I don't think I would have noticed it if I had just gone back and listened to it with you like a couple weeks, like a couple months ago now. I probably wouldn't have noticed, but because we had just listened to it, I was like, this is weird.
All right.
So Ray Porter is the narrator for this. He does a pretty good job. If you liked him in Project Hail Mary, you're gonna like him in this one.
Okay.
So this book is #1 in the Bobiverse series.
Okay. The Bobiverse?
Yes.
All right.
And there are currently 5 total books.
Okay.
I don't know if there's going to be any more. I didn't look into it that deep. The first book was written in 2016 and the 5th book was written in 2024. So spanning quite a while. I don't know if there's going to be more books. And I've only read the first one.
Okay.
So this book, the main character is Bob.
I would think so.
Yes. So Bob has just sold his software company, and before he's set to go off into the sunset and enjoy his retirement, he enrolls in a program that will upload his consciousness, and And that way, in the future, they can bring him back, like, if needed, right? Or, like,
sure.
It's kind of like one of those things, instead of, like, cryogenically freezing your body, they, like, upload your consciousness, and then they can bring you back in the future, right?
Okay.
But as bad luck would have it, Bob is hit by a bus. I think it's a bus. And I think it's almost directly following the upload. Like, I don't remember.
Oh, no.
I listened to this book a couple months ago, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's something where he goes in, they do the scan, they upload everything, and then he, like, walks out the door and he's hit by a bus. If I remember correctly.
So at least it's there.
So it's there.
But, oh, no. Okay.
So next thing he knows, he's a computer.
Oh.
In the future.
All right.
But it's not a great future.
Okay. So when he uploaded his consciousness, did they know what it was going to be put into? Like, you knew it was going to be a computer or a human, or like...
So it's just, it was meant to be like, we will, it was like, your body's not going to survive that long. So we will put you into something. We don't know what yet. If I remember correctly, it's just one of those things that we will be able to bring your consciousness back. Okay. But in this future, there's been a massive war, and the company that uploaded all of these people's consciousnesses, they basically went bankrupt. Oh. So the government owns all of those consciousnesses? All those people. What a
terrible fucking word.
Yeah, so the government now owns all of these people's uploads. Their brains, I guess. And they want to use these brains as to basically put in their probes that they're going to send across the universe and try and find a habitable planet for all the people living in this future society, right? Okay. So the kicker is if Bob says no, they'll just delete him.
So really, do what I say or die.
Right. So the answer is yes. Right. So the whole book is him getting to the point where he's going to set off into space. It's him in space. It's him doing what he was asked to do. Okay. The story arcs into like 4 different story arcs. So there's a lot going on in this book. But the main thing is Bob is not the only country sending out probes. Okay. So he's technically not alone in this space race, and everybody else is the enemy.
Oh, shit.
Yes. So okay. All right. So, like I said, this book is, for how much happens, it's actually a really short book. It's only 383 pages. Okay. I really enjoyed this book in the beginning.
Oh no! You threw in that caveat in the beginning.
Yes. So you know how, if anybody out there has read Project Hail Mary, The Martian, it's pretty similar vibes. It's very sciencey. He explains everything that he's doing. The guy's kind of a nerd that you either like or dislike, right? Okay. And I really enjoyed the plot in the beginning and how he, goes about saving Earth and how he experiences everything and the science behind it. It all seemed very plausible to me. Okay. But holy shit, there are a bazillion and a half characters. Oh. There's so many. And most of them are Bob's. So different versions of Bob.
They're all named Bob?
So he starts to he names them other things. Okay. He names them after, like, historical people or like TV shows or like stuff like that. Yeah. So but all these replicas, to me, start to get really difficult to remember who they are, what their purpose is, where they're going, because you also start to factor in stuff like time dilation, and they're doing all of this space travel, and now you're not just following these 4 different story arcs, but now the story arcs are in different times because they're traveling through time, basically, the space and time and all that other stuff. So it's really hard to follow along some of it if you're just listening. I feel like if I would have had a physical copy, I probably would have been able to like flip back and forth and like look at that kind of stuff and be like, yes, last time I saw this guy, he was here.
Okay.
I thought the amount of story arcs was too much.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 of them. Some of them I didn't even care about.
Great.
Yeah, so
that's what you want.
Yeah, it was, because he's like, the main point is me finding a way for people of Earth to get to a new planet. And that's one story arc, right? And then there's other story arcs where he, like, finds a planet that has life on it. And it has, like, aliens on it. And he's, like, watching this planet and, like, I don't want to give away most of the book, but that's a story arc. And then there's like another one where they're trying to, like I was telling you earlier, there's enemy probes. Like he's fighting enemy probes. And like, I can't remember what the 4th one is, but.
There's so much going on and he has so much to do.
Yes.
And
like I said, this book is not
short,
not long, right? Yeah. All that is happening in 383 pages. So you're not really getting a huge amount of anything going on. There's obviously, it's just, I found the second half of the book confusing. Just because, like I said, the amount going on, the amount of people, I didn't have a way to really go back and remind myself who these people were and what they were doing. And some of the voices were the same, where I was just like,
Do you think that you would feel different about the book if you would have read it instead? Like, would your rating change or like anything like that?
Well, I mean, that's hard to say because like I listened to it and I enjoyed it until it got too confusing, but who's to say that even if I read it, it still wouldn't have been confusing, or maybe I would have read it and I would have hated it because now I understand what's going on.
True.
So I listened to it. Like I said, I listened to it. I enjoyed the first 60-70%. The last 30-ish%, I was kind of like, okay, well.
Okay.
It does end on a cliffhanger. And then there's 4 more books. I didn't choose to go on because I didn't care about half the storylines. And I couldn't, now I can't even remember the 4th. So, Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fair. So you don't think you'll ever go back to book 2 or anything?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Not because the book was bad. It was just, I just kind of lost interest in all the Bobs.
Okay. Well, all right. That's fair.
So, but yeah, I would say this one, I would give it like 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 pickle pizzas.
Pickle pizzas.
Okay. Tell me about your book.
Yes, I'm doing 2 today because it's the books, what are they? Books 3 and 4 of the Finlay Donovan series.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So, book 3 is called Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. We pick off again right where the last book ended. She's very good about like this being very in chronological or time, like it's immediately. Okay. So because of some of the things that happened in the last book, I don't know if you remember, but she was trying to save her ex-husband, Stephen, because his name got put on that hit list. The Russian mob came in and did her a favor, and now she's under their thumb.
Yes.
Yeah, so to get out of owing them, she has to find out who accepted the contract
Okay.
of killing him. So for reasons with the Russian mob, they are also looking for this person. So they're like, go find who this person is that accepted the contract to kill your husband, and we will call the slate clean. So she's now closer to figuring out who took the job of killing her husband. I wrote killing her Stephen. Killing her husband. But all the clues are leading to it potentially being a cop. So she's got to do some serious digging to find out who it is. And in this endeavor, she gets roped into going to the civilian police academy by her sister, who is a cop.
Oh, okay.
But there's like a civilian police academy thing going on who her hot cop boyfriend, not boyfriend at this point, but boyfriend is putting on.
Okay.
Like he's doing this, and her sister encourages her to take part of this civilian thing. Her and Vero both use this as an opportunity to stay safe from the mob boss and to dig a little deeper into the cops that could be involved in this hit attempt. So because Mr. Hot Cop is running this, we've got some forced proximity type situation going on. So yes, so that's kind of what this one is about. As crazy as it sounds, I feel like this one felt the most unbelievable so far out of all of them.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, it just, to me, it also felt like in the story, the fact that Mr. Hot Cop, his name is Nick, the fact that Nick hasn't, like caught her or even accused her at this point of like some of the things that have happened thus far feels like,
how are you a cop?
how are you like, yeah, and he's supposed to be like this great cop, right? So I'm just like, I don't understand how you haven't like caught her yet in some of the things that are going on. So I still enjoyed it. I still really enjoy the characters and the story and like all of that for sure. So I still gave this one 3.5 milk chocolate potato chips, but but it was just a little, I didn't really love the ending either. Like once we find out who the contract killer was, kind of how all of it just kind of came together. It was like, okay, like, all right.
Sure.
So yeah, I started to get to a point where I was like, specifically with like Mr. Hot Cop, like, come on, man, you need to know.
Do better.
Yeah. So we're jumping into book 4 now. This one is called Finlay, Donovan Rolls the Dice. Again, we're picking up where we left off in the last book. This time we're heading to Atlantic City. Finlay and Vero have made it out of the last book, having figured out who the contract killer was. That was going after Stephen, but they still don't know what Stephen did to get on the contract killer's list. So we know the person who put him on the list. We know the reason behind that. But this contract killer specifically only accepted contracts on people that did bad things. And we still don't know like what he's doing to make this contract killer accept the contract. Okay. This time though, they have no bodies to deal with. They just like feel like they need to have a girls' weekend away. And Vero is currently in with a loan shark for $200,000. Okay. And the loan shark wants his money back. So they've kidnapped her best friend or her childhood best friend, Javi, as ransom.
Okay.
To like get their repayment. Okay. And they happen to be in Atlantic City. They think like this man is in Atlantic City. So in an unfortunate turn of events, Stephen and Finley's mom are going to tag along with them to Atlantic City.
Oh, great.
It's wild. Okay, so when they find the loan shark, he's actually already dead. Great. But now they have to deal with the body and figure out where Javi is without being able to talk to the man who took him. In another turn of events, one night after dealing with the dead bodies, Finlay and Vero make it back to their hotel to find it swarming with police. And it just so happens to be the police force from back home, and Mr. Hot Cop is here.
Of course he is.
So, yes, this police force received a tip that the mob boss that they're after was landing in Atlantic City. And so Mr. Hot Cop was like, let's go.
Let's all get in our police vehicles and drive to Atlantic City.
Yes. And he also knew Finlay was there. So he was like, I get some time with Finlay. And
not because she could possibly have something to do with this.
No, of course not. Okay, so... they, of course, are all staying in the same hallway in the hotel as them.
There's only one hotel in Atlantic City, I've heard.
Only one hotel, yes. And there's only one hallway in that hotel.
It's a really,
you have to
really
stay
long hallway.
Yes, exactly. So that's basically the story. They work to get her out of the loan shark and figure out all the things. I still liked this. But now, Nick, Mr. Hot Cop, sir, for being such a fantastic detective, man, you, love is blinding him. He just...
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yes. I just don't, we learn that he's a really good cop, and we see that he's a good cop in most cases, but, at this point, I was just yeah. So... This might be a little mild spoiler, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it was at this point I reached about a point in this book, about a third of the way through, I want to say, where I actively searched for a spoiler because I needed to know if Nick found out Finlay's involvement in all of his cases. And it was I went to Mr. Chatty and I said, Mr. Chatty, does Nick find out? Yes or no only? If yes, when does it happen? And, if no, this is stupid, right? Mm-hmm. So he said, yes, book 4, which is the book that I was currently in. Uh-oh. And he lied.
Jerk.
So yes, because I was at this point, I got to 60% in and he still didn't find out. And I was like, what? Mr. Chatty, tell me when this happens. And he says, it's in the last 10% of the book. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll keep going. And I finished the book and he did not find out. So by the end of this book, it's clear that he has suspicions about Finlay. Okay. So there is that. He that something is up, that she's lying about something, that there's something there, but he's choosing to either believe her or ignore it. It's almost clear by the end of this book that he knows, but he doesn't want to know.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So
are there going to be more books? Oh, okay.
Yes. So I have one more to review next week, and then the next book comes out in March. So,
have you ever seen the TV show 30 Rock?
Uh-huh.
With Tina Fey?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the character that John Hamm plays?
Yes.
The guy who's so good looking.
He's not him.
He's so dumb, but he's so good looking that people overlook things. Like the time when she's like, oh, what did you marinate this fish in? And he's like, orange Gatorade. And she's like, who told you that was okay?
Oh, no.
When you're explaining that cop, I'm thinking of John Hamm's character in 30 Rock where he's putting his hands into helicopter blades because he thinks he sees somebody he knows.
Okay, so he is not that. He is a very smart cop. That's why I feel like it's important to note that I feel like by the end of this book, it's clear that he knows and is choosing to not know. Okay. Right? I think that's where we are in this one. So I still did really like this one. All the characters. There is one character that I did not like. He's kind of the bad guy, and even as the bad guy, I hate him, but not in a bad guy way. I just kind of hate him
as a person,
as a character. Yes. But I still rated this one 3.5 potato chip chocolate.
Nice.
Or whatever. So far, I mean, the series is great. It's a 3.5, 4-star, whatever. Still very entertaining.
Yeah.
And so you will next week hear
The finale.
there might be slight spoilers in that one, but not like crazy. Yeah. So next week, I'll give you the last book that's out, and then in March there will be another one.
Ooh.
But yes, are you ready for our discussion question?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay. What are your thoughts on themed reading, like holidays and seasons and like stuff like that?
So I think I do themed reading just because you know, I'll be looking through like Kindle Unlimited and you get to Christmas and there's like a whole bunch of Christmas ones and Halloween ones and stuff. It's kind of hard if you are trying to plan themed reading.
Right.
So I think I definitely do it, but I feel like it's more of a it just happens sort of thing. I don't actually actively go out and plan anything.
Because it like easily recommends it to
Right.
you, and so you see it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, last year I did try to do theme reading, and I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Last year was really the first time I ever did it specifically for like the seasons and the holidays, and I did not enjoy it. I think the only one that I really liked was like the week of Christmas. I read a Christmas book, and I feel like I liked that. Like I felt like that was fun and cool. It got me more into the spirit or whatever, I guess you could say. But like any of the other ones, I don't know. But even that, it felt kind of like you were saying, like they were popping up more. It was easier to find them. And so that was like an easy one to do. But I don't think I'll do it again.
No.
Like if a Christmas book finds me, I'll read it, but I'm not going to like do it intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of, well, I guess a couple thoughts there, because it kind of goes back to I read how I feel, and sometimes I don't want to read 1,000 Halloween books.
Right.
And to this point, the other day, I actually stopped myself because I was looking through Kindle Unlimited, and I saw a Christmas book, and I was like, I could read a Christmas book, and then I was like,
okay.
what am I going to do with a fucking Christmas book in June? Like, I can't do a review on a Christmas book in June.
Right.
But now I'm kind of like, fuck it. I can't
exactly,
be the only
like,
person.
No, if it speaks to you in any kind of way, read it whenever you want. And yeah, I give everyone permission.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I don't think I'll do it again.
No. I mean, I'll definitely read a theme book because I think it's just the way it happens. But I'm not gonna try to do the whole like full month or even a couple weeks.
Nope, samesies. All right, well, that was an easy one. Tell us if you like themed books, either by season or holiday or like anything. Do you try to read what season you're in or any of that? Let us know what your thoughts are.
I guess I do have one go back.
Okay.
There's only one theme that I'll do, and it's because I told friend of the pod that I was gonna only read romance books over Valentine's Day. And I didn't. I forgot. So next year it's coming.
Okay.
Be prepared.
We need to come up with a new name for him because he's ex-friend of the pod now. He's former friend of the pod because he's been replaced as friend of the pod.
That's
so
true.
He needs a new name.
Okay.
We'll come up with a new name for him. But yeah, so you're still going to do the Valentine's Day one? You're going to try?
I might.
Okay. If you remember.
I'm going to double down and only do romances all of February.
Great. Okay, fun. I already said let us know.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was like, yeah, let us know what you want, and or if you do it. And I was like, wait, I already said that. Go visit us on all of our socials, Savor the Story Pod, and savorthestorypod.com, and you can email us there, and you can give us likes and thumbs ups and love and comments and subscribe and all of the things. Give us everything.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yay.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Get out of here.